We would like to announce the launch of the global network of women decision makers in information and communication technologies. This is a joint initiative of the International Telecommunication Union, the specialized United Nations agency in charge of telecommunications, and the Serbian Ministry of Telecommunications and Information Society, represented by myself, to try to bring together women that have a decision-making capacity in our sector, which you have heard repeatedly is slightly male and pale dominated so far. So now Mrs. Coumba Touré will tell you a little bit about what has happened in previous months, and then I will finish off by saying what we will do very soon.
Thank you, Your Excellency. We didn't mean to chase you from a table, so please, you are free to remain. So I think this is a very exciting network, and it's a result of the effort from ITU in trying to close the gender gap. And I think also a lot of work, in the background work was done by the Minister of Serbia in trying to get this adoption, the resolution 70, I think it's called. Never mind, it's so many resolutions in the UN, but you have to remember this resolution 70. So it was adopted during the conference of the plenipotentiary in Guadalajara in Mexico, and it's really, we just realized we have fewer women in the leadership in the telecommunication business. So we just thought that some of the women who were fortunate enough to be in that high-level positions has something to give back, to the one who really were not fortunate enough, to have a higher education and be in that position. So I can talk from myself because coming from a developing country in Mali, it's really, being fortunate, to have access to best education, higher education, and also have access to, a very good positions in the field. I think we have a gift that we have to give back to our younger sisters and daughters who were not fortunate enough to have access to this education. From also what I'm doing as a work, my previous life I was working in WHO for 12 years, and I like somebody mentioned about the preparedness. When we are introducing new technologies, new solutions, you always forget about preparing the communities. And from my experience in research and vaccine development, we always go in 3 phases of trials. Preparing the communities, they have to be well informed and also be willing to participate in the research. So you prepare the communities to really be ready, when you want to, test your product, that we are ready, and the framework that is needed, I think in terms of information technology, we were discussing this morning about the introduction of e-banking. Countries have to be ready. We need to have this framework, regulatory framework in the countries, in order, to really address some of the challenges that we will be facing. So I really would like to invite all of you to participate in this network. It's just starting, and we will have an official launch at the UN next week in New York. I hope, Chris, you can come. You are welcome to join this launching, and it will be done we will be hosted by the new executive director of the UN Women. That all the women issues now is under one umbrella is called the UN Women, and it's the executive director is Michelle Bachelet, who was the previous president of Chile. So myself and the minister will be there, to announce and launch this new network. And we believe that you are all, in your personal capacity, have something, to add value in this network. So we really want to welcome you, to join that work. And I will let you finish with if you have other awards. Thank you very much.
Thank you. As you could have seen in the materials, Madame Touré is actually the better half of the Secretary General of the International Telecommunications Union, who is supporting this initiative, and I'm very thankful for her efforts.
And he's a big supporter of women, so.
As you can imagine. So we will be launching the network on the 25th of February in New York in the United Nations during the Conference on the Status of Women. That's Friday at 9 o'clock in the morning, New York time, which is also relatively a good time for our continent, Europe, and then for Africa, which would be the same time zone, and for most of Asia would still be relatively appropriate timing, so to speak. We would like to invite you all to become members of this network, as you, I would say, are all women with some decision-making capacity in the telecommunications sector. And I think there's this opportunity that young ladies and not so young ladies actually also should not forgo. Our sector is a sector with the strongest growth in the couple of decades behind us and also in the couple of decades ahead of us. And women should take their part in the opportunities that are within this sector. They should take opportunities to make a good career in the sector, which is highly profitable, which is highly innovative, creates a lot of value. And let's be frank, girls are not encouraged. They're actually discouraged to pursue education and careers in this sector. And our initiative has come as a result of a couple of frustrations that some of us have had. We have a colleague in our ministry who was very talented for math when he was young. And now he has 2 kids, a son and a daughter, and his son also competes in math. And his daughter said to her teacher, "Oh, I also would like to go to a mathematics competition." And the teacher said, "Why don't you take dancing?" So you can understand that this can be discouraging for young generation. On the part of myself, I can also say that oftentimes it happens to me when I enter a meeting that, first of all, my counterparts try to shake hands first with whoever is the available man in the delegation, because naturally he would be the boss, right? And I have been asked several times, "Oh, so you're here to translate, your place is over there." So, you know, it takes strength to cope with that. And I was thinking that maybe the women who have overcome these obstacles should share their experiences and encourage the younger generation to strive for decision-making positions, for management positions, for the innovation positions, which are ample in this industry. And we will try through mentoring programs, shadowing programs, and an initiative called Girls' Day, which I will talk about later in the panel, to encourage young generations of women to take advantage of our sector. At the very end, let me invite you once again to follow what we are doing. We will have the website launched on the 25th. It will be called witnet.org, so Women in IT Network, obviously. And it has also a nice acronym, as you can see. We would like you all to become founding and the first members of our network. And as the very last thing, I would like to introduce my 2 colleagues who have been inspiration and support to this effort. Ms. Irina Relin, who has a PhD in telecommunications and is my deputy for telecommunications. And if you could please wave your hand for everybody to see you. And my other deputy for international relations, who has masters in international law, Ms. Irena Posin. Thank you very much.